How are you doing, guys? So today I wanted to show you the leaked packages and cases that will be coming for The Last of Us Part 2. Now, this is just a rumor coming from Swiss retailer Softridge. Mind you, there is a little bit of a credibility to this, since that the same user also predicted that the Death Stranding release date for the November 2019, 2 weeks before the formal announcement. So I also wanted to mention of these 3 editions. The standard edition, as you're currently seeing in front of you, it's nothing really special because we actually have already seen this artwork, or this, image anyway. And also, if we do continue to the special edition packaging, and mind you, this is not a finalized form as it mentions from this user, and so yes, some things subject to change. Again, if it's not real, of course. And the last but the best thing I personally think is the collector's edition packaging. Once again, it's not finalized, but it's just basically a much larger version of the standard edition of the case anyway. And mind you, if you wish to know the prices, that's also been actually kind of revealed a little bit. So the normal edition, as mentioned, it will cost 79, that's actually Swiss franc. Basically, to make it into euros, that will be about 72 euros. Well, let's consider that 70 euros, like 69.99, just as simple. Then special edition will cost 100 euros, so 99.99 as an example. And the collector's edition has been mentioned in here. Actually, worth is 280 euros, I presume so. Of course, there are subject to change. A lot of things that could be here completely faked. And there's also even more information. Jesus. Now, it sounds like that this game will be coming out on the 28th of February 2020. 28th of February, if I'm looking at it correctly, is Friday. So yeah, it actually makes sense for it to come out that time. But still, days and like that, it's a simple thing to do. Because there were already some rumors regarding that this game will be coming out on February 2020. So there's not much of credibility of believing it anyway, because like it makes sense for it to come out that this time around anyway. I also wanted to touch on that there's actually more information. It's mentions of the background and the story, basically the bio, if that makes sense. 5 years later, a nerve-wracking, shattering and emotional adventure awaits the player. Ellie and Joel return in a sequel to acclaimed game of Naughty Dog, and they are once again on an epic journey. So this what it features as well, surprisingly. An intense story driven by the story characters, perfectly orchestrated by the hit studio Naughty Dog. Outstanding setting, unforgettable encounters with the enemies through the world-class AI system, unpredictable single-player story mode, Hollywood blockbuster style, get the latest motion capture, the emotions transported even more realistically. As you can hear this, it's not exactly the words that might be anybody would have said, except maybe somebody is trying to be very poetic and trying to be very smart there, but they're not doing a good job of it. Because that's not, I have read a lot of marketing wise, right? Seems a little bit somebody was trying to pull this off to make it more realistic and maybe more believable. I don't buy it. Something about this just does not seem right. Something about this as well, the art and the format and everything, I don't buy it. I also wanted to touch on one other thing I noticed. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It kind of gives me another, yet I'm suspecting it to be also a fake thing. If you take a look at the collector's edition once again in front of you, look at the collector's edition, the title, the font. Notice something different? The font itself is more, it's not exactly on the line as The Last of Us Part 2 is. As you can see on the left side, it starts bigger, and S as the, The Last of Us goes smaller, basically, being turned. But the collector edition doesn't exactly do the same thing. My apologies if you are not quite understanding what I'm trying to explain, but hopefully you can see it in the front of you. Again, guys, take this as a giant grain of salt. This might not come into fruition. And you know, there are some credibilities to this source, and there are some credibilities to this user by a Swiss retailer, Soft Ridge. That's the name. I will leave the links down below in the description to the very same site I'm actually on right now, and where I'm getting all this information from as well. Well, then in this case, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I see you guys all, and have a good one.